Hello, friends. Welcome to Crazy Town Productions. I'm John,
I'm Patrick.
and if you're joining us, it's because you're one of our buddies. Today, we'll be spending some time on some pop culture therapy.
And these are our notes on
For a few moments here, we're going to talk about Star Wars.
mainly the newest movie.
Is it? No.
No,
It's
not the newest
tr-
movie,
the
but the newest trilogy.
The first movie in the newest trilogy. I guess that would be episode. Oh God, what was it? 6, 7.
Well, hold on. It goes 4, 5, 6, so it's 7.
Okay, episode 7. So anyway, there was a moment. Everybody has issues with the new Star Wars movie, and honestly, I would recommend checking out the crap video that was done by the dude who does Some More News.
And Small Beans.
Yeah, he's on Small Beans sometimes.
Okay.
But that's Michael Swain and them. No, he does Some More News, and he had some comments about the first Star Wars movie, the first of the new trilogy, and that video was excellent. His comments were excellent.
Good stuff. He's always got lots of good stuff.
Right. But so if we had done Star Wars, I would have loved to, of course, had that input, and I would have altered Star Wars
Based on that input.
Yeah. But that you don't get things till after the fact, and I kind of am a little upset at Kevin Smith for not for reading the script through that J.J. Abrams gave to him, and then handing it back to J.J. Abrams, and then just being like, yeah, that was good, meh, yeah, nothing, no input, just the Millennium Falcon puts you to tears almost, and
No input.
no input whatsoever.
He didn't want to mess it up.
Didn't want to. Look, man, it takes a village.
Right.
Okay, there's a lot of people, and there's a lot of good opinions about it, and it doesn't
J.J.
hurt.
Abrams needed an opinion. He
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
need everybody being like, "Oh, I'm sure you're gonna do perfect, Mr. Abrams," and you did Star Trek, Mr. Abrams. He wanted some fucking advice. You're right.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so
Some input, not even advice, some input.
some input. Yeah, some input would have been good. But aside from all that, what we would have definitely done, our input for I guess J.J. Abrams would have been definitely this. When it comes to the scene where the First Order, they have their general. He's making this big speech to all the First Order troops, and they're trying to do the
Empire.
right. They're trying to do Hitler in Germania. Very angry speech. Rah 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 rah. Yeah, right. That's the point of the whole scene.
Right.
And he says, and they will know something about the First Order. His speech was so bad that
You can't even remember it.
I can't. It doesn't. Okay, so anyway,
the
whole movie would have been awesome, and actually, this whole scene can still be done. I'm trying not to drive people crazy,
But as far as editing,
it can be done editing, but it can also be done in the new movie, in the upcoming
new
movie. So they just released. So we're in the hiatus period between 8 and 9. And so this scene I'm about to pitch that I would have liked to have seen in 7 can
still be used.
And you transport this moment from the general's mouth, which I'm gonna talk about in a second. But you give it to Kylo Ren. You give it to Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren is talking to his people.
This 12 Order, which you finally get to see.
Right. And you'd have to change it a bit. Some other lasery thing, but anyway. So I'll say it how it should have been in number 7. The general's making his big stupid speech. The First Order, rah rah rah, and he gets to the point where they do the close up on his face, and he's got his fist in the air, one fist in the air, and he says, something about the First Order, this or that, and then he says, death to the Ewoks. You're watching this movie out of the clear blue, death to the Ewoks,
And you see the, what's it called, powering up.
Yeah, you see that big planet powering up, getting ready to shoot its jet. You know?
At the Ewok homeworld.
Right. And you can continue the movie from where it's at, and you show those the big laser beam or whatever.
Right.
And instead of heading for the planet that should have been Coruscant, which is an established world, nicely stolen from the Foundation and Tantor or whatever.
They went for the Ewoks as revenge.
As revenge, you got it.
For the Empire.
Those little bears cost the Empire everything.
And the First Order's not only not going to let it happen again, but they're also going to take vengeance because Kylo Ren is a Vader fan.
Right. And honestly, the when the Ewoks went down, that's when Vader went down. Okay,
yeah.
So this makes a lot of sense from the storyline, from canon perspective. But when he says "death to the Ewoks," you know that's how you know that the First Order is evil. You're trying to set up in the Star Wars that they're that they are the heart of evil, and there's nothing more evil than killing little teddy bears.
Yeah.
Right. So then you
I like the way you put it.
Well, of course they're adorable, potentially human eating teddy bears. So he says that you show the laser beam in space, which I guess they were intending for it to be like a very long extended version of Kylo Ren's lightsaber, which cool. That's how you know. So it says that that's how you know the Ewoks are evil. You go to your space moment, so you can give the audience a moment to absorb what just got said. Then you click to the Ewok planet, and you see the Ewoks, and they're doing their thing, and they've co-opted all this old Imperial technology. And if you remember, they're like really, really good with immediately. They have an innate understanding of foreign technology.
Yeah.
They get on those little speeder bikes. They can manipulate it in 2 seconds. They're off to the races. They're good to go. And so they've co-opted all this Imperial stuff, but they still kind of live in their tribal treetop sort of ways.
Yeah.
It's just now when you see them down on the ground, they're rocking out the speeder bikes. That's common transportation.
Right.
I'm sitting in my hut in the trees, and I'm playing the drums on a couple helmets.
And I have a speeder bike.
I have a speeder bike, and I've got this nice blaster thing, that
keeps people away.
It keeps people away. And you take the blaster and you add these wood parts to it, and it's got some, Ewok camouflage. But anyway,
Ewok camouflage.
And that's where you stick back in the Yum Nub song that got removed, right? So, because if we're gonna finish off the Ewoks. Oh my God! I think my heart kind of skipped a beat saying that. That kind of hurt a little in the chest area. Anyway,
I had a pitch, but I'll wait.
Okay. So when you click to the Ewok planet, you see a little bit of their new upgraded environment, and and then one of the they're playing the drums. You're doing the Yub Nub song. And then things kind of get a little quiet. And then up in the sky, you can see the reflection of this light. And Wicket looks up and you see in Wicket's big eyes, the reflections of some of, his family tribe torches, but definitely see this beam coming in, from a side angle as far as the planet's concerned.
Yeah.
Or the atmosphere, or the view, or whatever. You just get to see a slight bit of the incoming arc of this thing through Wicket's eyes,
Yeah.
And it hits, somewhere in the distance, but you're mostly seeing it through the reflection in his eyes, and then you kind of clip right to where the hit would have been in the horizon, and then just this growing light, and you show it from space, and the beam is basically gone straight through the moon, to the point where it's the core. I don't know, 60%,
Yeah.
of the, if you're looking at it from a side angle, 60% of the disc got a hole punched right through it and out the backside, and that's how you know that the First Order's evil.
Yeah.
And so now you give it to Kylo Ren, and you adapt whatever you've got going on in the new Star Wars script to make sure you get this death of the Ewoks moment. And well, go for it, J.J. Abrams. That's my note.
I had one more pitch.
Go for it, Pat.
The fact that, Chewbacca's like, what, 500 at this point?
Yeah, 380, something like that. 350, let's call it.
Well, he was like 350 when he met Han.
You said he was like. Anyway, what's the point? What's up?
He's old. He should be dying of old age.
Oh no, Chewbacca going down? We just took out the Ewoks.
Well, you have to understand, Han's gone
buddy.
down, what's his name's gone down, and it's to show that there's a new generation. You know what I mean? There's new people to fill the shoes. And a good one would be an Ewok to fill Chewbacca's shoes, especially for a girl, because they're smaller, they're not intimidating. You know what I mean? They're sly, they're sneaky,
Yeah,
they're slick. You know what I mean?
Right.
And they're extremely intelligent. They pick up very quickly. You might even be able to pick up a lightsaber pretty quickly.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So essentially, what you're saying is that Wicket is no longer, your main dude on the village, or
I don't. There is an Ewok still around.
Hold on. Hold on. All right. So what you're saying is Wicket could be the one that's on the planet, and you see through his eyes. Wicket could also be off planet. It could be some other Ewoks that are now part of our new adventure for the new movie because they're awesome with the little technology, and there's no reason.
I was thinking one main Ewok at least.
I'm just thinking there's no the Force side, the rebellion.
Yeah.
It's getting kind of thin numbers wise.
It is, and they populate like what? I'm sure.
Well,
not, but they could be a good ally.
My point is seniority. Seniority. They brought in this weird purple admiral out of nowhere. There's no reason to not to have a subtitled General Wicket talking and in the movie.
Yeah.
Wicket as a general is definitely something that the rebellion needs.
Yeah, and even watches as the rebellion, as Wicket is looking. Maybe he's on the other line with the fucking rebellion as the planet.
You know what I want to see on the
Right. Maybe he's talking to the rebellion.
Right, and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like he's one of the generals, not of Ewoks, but of the rebellion.
Yeah.
And then so I guess it could be somebody through somebody else's eyes. Just some nice Ewok lady.
Yeah.
What was the other thing? Oh yeah, the other thing that needs to be fixed. Oh my god, the slavery thing. If you're gonna make this movie, the last movie ended with this slave kid with the broom staring off in the distance who clearly has Force abilities. Okay.
Clearly slavery is an issue.
There's a lot of slaves. We've already set up a minor slave rebellion in Star Wars 7. So...
No, it was in Han Solo.
No. The really good black gentleman from
oh, that's right.
Attack the Block.
Yeah, you're right.
And the nice love Asian girl went down.
Yeah,
just to subvert the theme of the movie. Not gonna get distracted on that.
Anyway, so you're right. The slavery is an issue, and one of the things I was gonna say is if one of the Ewoks is a slave, one of the main titular, the guy who's gonna replace, in my mind, Chewbacca.
Quick point. I want to see Chewbacca and Wicket fist pound.
Okay.
I just got it. I got to see those two fuzzy fists do a fist pound. I don't know why. It's a thing.
So in my mind, he's going to replace Chewbacca basically, as far as continuation. You know what I mean? That way you're not having Han Solo's sidekick as Ren's sidekick. Ren gets her own sidekick. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
That's more what I was going for.
Or even to a certain degree, Chewbacca's sidekick is now General Wicket, you know?
Right.
Oh gosh, well, Chewbacca's getting that damn generalship for, like, what? That needs to be said.
Yeah.
You know? And, yeah, Chewbacca's kind of old. I don't want to really talk about Chewbacca going down. And, nor do I want...
just give him a boost where he's not on the ship constantly. He's with the rebellion. You just give him, like, a promotion.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So that way you don't have to focus on him
and
being there.
And what was up with, like, I'm gonna go with super racist deal of Chewbacca not getting a medal at the first start. You know, like Han's got his freaking magical dice made out of heavy metal gold that disappear into the ether of Jedi land, even though he's not one.
Yeah.
So I'm really thinking that Chewbacca, God, is he rocking out Han's medal? That's kind of rough, man.
That is kind of rough. I would say that at least
Oh, his generalship should be like one of those medals.
Yeah.
You know, like he comes in as General Chewbacca, you know, and you could give him like one of those Klingon sashes that Worf used to wear.
Yeah.
With the big gold medal right in the center, and that's that. You know.
Well, the Wookiees lost their planet, so what might be nice is when he gets his promotion.
Okay.
You know, is also a treaty with the New Republic.
Oh, dude,
Ewoks,
are you seriously pitching the some more Senate meetings?
No.
Oh my God.
Okay, if you remember in the 10th Kingdom.
Yeah.
The werewolf guy, when he got like knighted or whatever.
Cool beans.
They were like, and we will not hunt werewolves. And, werewolves will be of esteem throughout the 9 kingdoms.
Yeah.
Will be held in,
But isn't
hunt that, and that's more what I was getting at is that, personally, as the Republic, for you serving the Republic, once everything is settled, you'll have a home, your people will have a homeland. And if you're around, you will be leader. There will be more of Wookiees. They're not going to be enslaved across the galaxy. They're going to have a home world again.
I'm just thinking of episode 1 and like George Lucas. Okay, so we're gonna clip back to the Senate and it's gonna be the Wookiee Preservation Act. No, actually, that I'm really glad you brought that up, which brings us to the last point here, which is that Jar Jar Binks is a flippin' Sith.
Yes.
And if there's, anybody that's might not make a bad, ridiculous, dotard, I don't know, number 2 or something like that to, what's his name? Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
It's
Jar Jar.
Some humbled, egg-sucking Jar Jar might not be bad, and Jar Jar's still Sith as what,
and he's part of the Senate.
And, they swept away the remnants of the old Senate.
Okay.
Yeah, and now the regional control.
But he could say, I served the Emperor.
I don't really care what Jar Jar says. I just want to...
I was just saying that's a line for him to get in with Kylo Ren, even.
No.
I served the Emperor.
No way, man. No way. Jar Jar's, just there. And serving the interests of the new leader.
Right.
All hail the new leader, Kylo Ren. And there's Jar Jar, and, he's just, I don't know, there. As a Sith, round that bad boy out.
I got a really, really good way to show that he's evil.
Well, he is evil.
I know, and egg-sucking.
Well, I just said egg-sucking because it seemed easy. Well, no, Kylo Ren's our big Sith dude.
Right.
and I was just leaving it at that, and I was bringing in Jar Jar as a Sith, and because that's the point there. You don't need to set up stuff. So what now?
He says to Kylo Ren.
Jar Jar says
to Kylo Ren.
As a suck up.
As a suck up, look at you. You remind me of young Annie so much.
No.
Looks nothing like Annie.
No, dude, no. The way, not. That's killing me.
Sorry,
no. Exactly. Previously, the way you did it, not with the Jar Jar voice, but like exactly like you just did. Could you?
Yeah, I can. Sorry. So it's the fact that Kylo Ren himself loves Vader and
the lines.
Yeah, and the line is it's that you look so much like Annie.
There we go. Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah, you look so much like Annie, and it's just a suck.
You remind me so much of Annie, or something like that, and you suck it dry of his hard accent, and you give it a nice long pause where he looks at Kylo Ren, and then just slowly turns and does his weird walk out the door. And like Kylo Ren gets to like stare and look and then turn and do whatever the hell.
And it also shows that Jar Jar's manipulative, if not evil.
Now that's
at
nice.
least it shows right off the bat that he's manipulative.
Right, and that Jar Jar's base as a Sith is being manipulative. It's the first time we see him. He looks with his yellow Sith eyes, looks 2 Jedi square in the face, and then.
Does a hand wave.
Does the hand wave, and then and we see him do a force jump right in their faces. Does the double flip, and they don't even notice or care. Jar Jar is the best manipulator that the Sith has ever created. So much so that he's hidden as a Sith and somehow gone down in culture as a mistake, and he wasn't. George Lucas was genius for having Jar Jar. He shouldn't have. I mean, he's Jar Jar's horrible. But the setup is just for Jar Jar is just as good as Luke, I am your father, and he wouldn't let he called the movie Blue Harvest or whatever, and he wouldn't see the script, and then he told James Earl Jones the line, and James Earl Jones was like, no, that can't be true,
right?
And so when the 3rd movie, I guess, rolled around, and he cut Jar Jar, out, cut Jar Jar's Sith reveal out of the movie, would have been the even better reveal, but we didn't get that,
right?
Because he didn't take advice, then he didn't listen to the
fans.
He didn't listen to the this master little plot that he didn't listen to himself.
Yeah.
And we all lost because of it. So it would be very nice to see Jar Jar again. We spent.
I have one more.
All right, go for it.
It had to do with Jar Jar.
Okay.
Shows you that he's manipulative.
Love that.
Oh, this is a good time. If any, they have all the ghosts all the time, right? The Force ghosts.
Yeah. Well, apparently Yoda's master of lightning, even though that's like. Anyway.
So it's a good time to bring out Qui-Gon.
Why do you want to bring out Qui-Gon?
Make it seem like Qui-Gon knew the whole time.
Knew what?
Jar Jar. Make it seem like he had a suspicion at the very least, and that's why he allowed Jar Jar. If you notice, he kind of made sure Jar Jar was with them, the whole time. And so that being said, it could be, and it seemed like he was weary of something.
That's interesting.
Wary of something the whole movie. It seemed like there was something going on with Qui-Gon.
Well, anyway, the new movie needs to finish off with the Slave Rebellion, and not just the Slave Rebellion, like the creation of a zero tolerance policy for the existence of slave economics, and you know what? There's a hole, and it's the Hutts. The Star Wars bounty hunter thing got canceled?
Yeah.
Right? So whatever gem notes, whoever was working on that, you can stick that bad boy. Yeah, definitely.
And as I said, Qui-Gon's ghost.
Qui-Gon's ghost.
Maybe he should just say a warning. Maybe he should be wary of Jar Jar or something. be wary of someone, you know. I don't know. But maybe that should be Qui-Gon's deal, is that you know, as it showed that he already suspected in some way Jar Jar,
Okay.
even back then.
Well, I'll give it to you that you know, it could be worthwhile to play with Qui-Gon.
Yeah, why do we have to have every other ghost on top of that? You know? And it gives more for you to play on Qui-Gon on top of that. Because Qui-Gon's cool.
Qui-Gon is cool. Qui-Gon is cool.
And I'm sick of Obi. I'm sick of Obi-Wan. And I'm sick
Yeah, I was just thinking, do you stick in the ghost of, what's his name, Alan McGinnis or whatever his name is?
Yeah, no.
The awesome actor.
I'm sick of Obi-Wan. And I think this is a good place for Qui-Gon Jinn to shine.
Dude, I have a small note for the second movie. It killed me so much that it wasn't there. When you don't end the first movie with Luke saying anything, or the number 6 with Luke saying anything, that was hard to deal with. But then when you start the next one and he throws the lightsaber over his shoulder,
horrible. Disrespectful.
But the lightsaber, fine. If it was me and I read that screen as play and I took a look at that, my note would have been, dude, the lightsaber keeps. He looks like he just throws it over his shoulder nonchalantly, but it just keeps spinning and moving through the air, and it's like practically in orbit, going around a planet the whole time. He and Rey are like, you know, training
/ fighting.
Right, and you know, the whole time he's arguing with her or whatever, you know, this thing's just like, and you know, you come back to it, and it's just circling the planet, and he's asleep, because he's the man.
Yeah,
and then
he didn't even like trade, which was bad.
Yeah. Oh, and how it should have ended, of the 7th one, where I guess it's going to be Rey at this point that's going to have to freeze a lightsaber blast from one of those big cannony things. The gorilla walkers.
Yeah.
I like the gorilla feat, by the way. That was a good move. The gorilla walkers, you know, she should freeze a bunch of them and bat them. Well, I guess the moment's over with, and it's too late, but she should have batted her and Luke's ghost or whatever it was, should have batted those bad boys back at the, anyway, at the gorilla things and taken them out that way. That was genius, how it should have ended.
Yeah.
I guess the moment's passed, though. You know, you don't really want to... Can't really stick that in the next one. Would have been nice, though. I like that you brought the Jar Jar thing in. You know, and for some reason I like the idea of seeing Jar Jar in a dark setting. You know? And I liked that. I liked the royal robes that he had from the second movie. So he still has his purple royal robes.
It's just all dark.
It's just a bit dark around him. And my thought is that at this point, Jar Jar's the money man. Jar Jar's a big money man in the Empire. You know,
why wouldn't he be?
Right, and why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he be the local governor, Naboo? We haven't heard jack squat out of Naboo in a generation.
And it's because of him.
It's because of him.
Yeah.
He's the Gungan ruler of Naboo, and the Gungans were traditionally offish about the Naboo, and so, you know, I mean, oddly enough, Jar Jar might have half a slave planet on his hands, and the slaves are humans under the Gungans.
That's true too.
Now that's kind of creepy. Jar Jar with little slaves. You know what? That's too dark. That's too dark. Way too dark.
And I don't think Jar Jar, as far as the whole slaves and whatnot go, and being evil, Jar Jar's not evil.
He's just
that way.
And so that's why I considered that Jar Jar's the money man.
Yeah.
You know, Jar Jar's the trade union. You know, you cut out all the vocalized dialogued politics, and you just, like the royal robe.
Yeah, and it's what's good about that, now that you mentioned that, him being like governor and political.
I just wanted to suggest that he's just dripping with the trappings of the money.
Yeah.
That's all. Rings and whatnot.
Maybe a good one would be a hollow meeting type of deal.
No, I was thinking live action.
I know for that. I know for that part, but I meant for another scene. It might be nice to show him as like just doing trade deals, and one of them's with because we don't see them in the last 2 movies.
Yeah.
Is the slug people, the
Huts.
Huts. Because if you remember, one of the Huts' big deal is Tatooine, the pod races.
Okay, so that's easy enough.
Or Naboo, I mean.
Yeah, so that's easy enough. Jar Jar, instead of trade or something like that, there could be a complaint, out of Kylo Ren. It's like, I need more this from my army. I need more that. Now punk ass has to rule a little bit, And Jar Jar's, his number 2, and he's essentially, Kylo Ren's a rocking out the Emperor's seat from the 4th, 5th, 6th, from...
He's rocking out Snoke's
3rd. You know what? I was saying 6th and 7th earlier, and I guess I meant 8th, 7th, and 8th.
7th and 8th.
And 8th. And I kept saying 6, but I meant 6th and 7th, and I meant 7th and 8th.
And I should have fixed you on that, because I did earlier. Okay. But I should have...
Yeah, so
I should have kept up on fixing you.
So essentially what I'm saying is Kylo Ren's rocking out something that looks very much, I mean very much, like...
the Emperor's throne?
Yeah, the Emperor's throne. Because that had a feel to it.
It did.
It had, I'm the techno emperor with, my Roman cement environment. Ish.
Yeah, but Snoke's background fit Kylo because it's all red and black.
Oh yeah, love the red. I'm not complaining.
Yeah, you got to keep that red.
That First Order look to it.
Yeah, you got to keep the First Order look to it with the same throne.
Sure. And instead of gray, maybe we get a little bit more. I don't know.
Red. You just get red and
red and white and black. Maybe like a nice clean triple red, white, black.
That's right.
Or, not too stark either way. You get all, at least all 3 colors are strong.
So with the Ewok guy that I was saying, he did the lockpicks. How I said he can put things in the cuffs in front of him, and maybe even pick the locks. There's
a good Ewok lockpick guy. Not bad.
And I was thinking,
the general's son, so to speak. Wicket's ticket. If you have Ewok, Wicket general, you have maybe some sort of like new Wicket for the kids to have fun with, then it could be very cool if Wicket somehow establishes a relationship, BB-8, where BB-8's this like toolbox, and Wicket's or new Wicket. Let's give him a name real quick. I got it. Ticket. I hated.
No.
I want to say Wicket backwards, whatever.
Slicket.
Oh, that's even worse. All right, let's not name this guy.
All right.
But anyway. Number 2.
Ewok number 2.
Ewok number 2.
There we go. So Ewok number 2.
Eckert.
There we go. Eckert.
Eckert. Ewok plus Wicket. Eckert. I'm happy. Moving on.
Yeah.
I'm not good at names.
So that works fine for me.
I'm not good at names. I'm just.
Eckert's fine.
Neither is Lucas.
No. Could be Second, and it would sound like Suck It.
Oh, that's kind of not bad. Second. Like he's second Wicket.
Mm-hmm.
I like Second better than Eckett. Let's just move on.
Alright. So Second, his deal is, mechanics.
Right. Oh, and
engineering.
So the point of that, in the long run, the point of that is that he's a new Anakin.
Yeah.
He's a new Anakin. Anakin is good with robots, and him and BB-8 establish a relationship, and I almost want to pitch there's a tribe of children that are peach children, and what's more tender than a peach, so oh god, the children's book thing, so I want to do I almost want to do this thing where like you said, Wicket goes inside is able to take apart the robot and whatnot, right? So if you set up that he's the new Anakin, you can do this kind of heartbreaking moment where BB-8 takes a nasty hit.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh no, I don't know if this little guy's gonna make it.
And it's tragic.
It's tragic.
You even do the whole slow down as the bullet hits or the beam hits. And other people are doing other things and don't even notice.
Oh god! Oh my god! It is an epic battle. Do you remember the oh that's that okay so and where's the okay so we
And
know
it would be like the droid's point of view. Everything gets all slow, and nobody's paying attention to him because there's too much chaos.
and especially because it's as discussed earlier, it's more focused on slaves,
Yeah,
and so you really gotta look at things through the eyes of the slave, and you have to look at things through the eyes of BB-8 maybe.
yeah.
And he takes a hit, things start to slow down, almost like when you're playing Zelda, and
Technical difficulties.
yeah. We are now experimenting technologicalities. Back to where we're at. Sekit and the droid, BD-8. My man takes a hit, and Sekit is like literally got to go inside of him and like repair him from like
and
certain
you even
doom.
show him taking out parts even.
Oh yeah, like
he-
vital stuff. In fact, you can even make a thing of that where it's like almost like his data chip or whatever like is nearly lost. Is what I'm getting at, and it's and my man with his little baby hands, like nick of time, like
is able to get in
to
there.
grab it, and that's a callback to when the girl hit the button in
Rogue One.
correct.
Yeah, you don't even have to call. That's not a number.
Correct. That's not a number. and when the girl hit the button, when all the bombs dropped, it kind of feels like that. And also, I want to say that the scene itself, I feel as if it should take place more or less in the battle that we saw at the beginning of Star Wars 3.
Okay.
Very intense. The war drums starts out. It's dramatic. There's all the ships in space.
Yeah.
Man, I felt that. It looks great on the big screen.
Let's do it again.
Let's do it again. Let's do it again for number 9. And let's get some color in there.
Right.
And it starts out at the beginning.
No,
So it starts out in that big space battle. And that's where BD-8 is on the outside of the ship in R2's exterior repair / run
the ship area.
Yeah, I forget what they call them. Are they the X-wings, the Y-wings? Are those the bad guys? No, the TIE fighters are the... So it's like the X or the Y-wing or whatever the upgrade.
Yeah, I think it's the Y-wing.
And you know what? Honestly, every ship...
Because X-wing is this,
Well,
and Y-wing is like a plane versus.
A tight side note on that. When it comes to designing whatever ships the ninth movie would have, you just pull everything that the fans have made. They will give it to you. They will give you all those MK4s or whatever Blender uses.
They want to see those. You know what I mean?
And if there's been this much of a backlash from the fan community,
just allow the fan community in.
Right. I saw a video the other day that was like showing how that some Imperial shuttle ship was in the background and it had a different wing configuration and it was superior to other wing configurations, which are all the TIE Fighter wing configurations we've seen thus far. And, blah, blah, blah. There's one of your new Kylo. By the way, I love that the triangle ship that's now like the bird that Kylo Ren has with the wings folding up.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep that. That's
bad,
the Imperial shuttle transport. Oh man, that's awesome. Yeah. So I feel like this battle, the war, the thump, dump war drums.
Space battle.
Yeah, and our buddy takes a hit. In comes Sekit.
Yes.
And he not from inside the ship, but from like in a spacesuit.
Yeah.
And the only reason why I'm pitching that is because it's such a Hail Mary save. It's such a Hail Mary save. When every time thus far when we've seen the droids on the outside of the ship take a hit, you're that's the way it's gonna be for the next 10 light years, man. And then we're gonna like land on a planet and you're gonna have to take re-entry.
And that's that.
And like all that's bad news bears.
Yeah.
And so I want to see this, BD-8, like half his parts are like kind of floating out into space and people are like freaking, and maybe even his head has started to come apart. Oh man, I'm starting to get old.
Yeah, maybe not too.
Oh no.
Okay.
I think it's okay.
Okay.
If the head just starts to drift away, like you've seen it there's no shock or anything that showed disconnect, but you just it starts to creep in, and then in comes Superman's hand and saves the day, and it's second,
Yeah.
and he gets in there and fixes this thing in a suit, and then maybe even just grabs it like a big basketball and brings it inside, and I'm thinking there's like this memory chip or something like that we've seen
Damaged.
And even like you could do like a Fight Club thing where you go inside and you see it like breaking apart or whatever.
Yeah.
And this thing, you see how it's when this one piece disconnects. When essentially the SD card comes out.
Yeah.
The head comes out of BD-8, off of BD-8, starts to drift away, and he gets in there and starts to put a couple things together real quick. And, I'm almost thinking a memory chip or something like that starts to drift into space. And he grabs things, and it looks like he's going to, leave this last part. And he, double backs and,
Right.
sees it in the corner of his big eyes. Now his big eyes have become very useful, And only Second's big eyes would have seen it.
Seen that.
You know what I mean? And
only his hands would have been able to get in there.
Oh, you know what? To tell you the truth, the Ewoks do not have very good hands.
That's true, but they have small hands.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking about that too, where, was it Apple? It was somebody, and they made that kind of messed up commercial where the Japanese were closer to the tables.
Yeah.
And so therefore they made better parts. That's been running in the back of my head too. I'm pretty happy. Are you happy? You were going to say something. Go for it, please.
Yes, I was going to say, there is a way. Like, so we don't have the Ewoks talk yet.
Yeah.
But we know they're intelligent.
Yeah.
So a good way to, like, pick the one Ewok, the engineer. Second, could pick up tiny words,
Word.
Just so you show that he picks up tiny words.
Yeah.
And maybe even, like, spins the lightsaber. And so it gets a show.
You were going for the idea that he has that maybe he can develop force powers.
Yes.
How about
and like maybe even be the next Chewbacca Yoda?
That's pretty hilarious. Especially if I love it. I just let you know. I just sat up like with excitement here because
I thought I was gonna get fired on this.
All right, so what? No.
Okay.
Wait, what? Oh, that now that Ewok is the Second's like a Force user, and you were mentioning something about he has Luke's pulls the lightsaber at a distance, and you were worried I was gonna be like, you're fired. That's the end of it. This recording is done. Well, hope you enjoyed it at home, but no. You would have been fired. You would have been fired. It would have been time for you to, go have a sandwich because we're done talking. No, that is actually useful. Considering the new plot points that Star Wars has set up, Luke has made it very, very clear that he does not like the light side as a dogmatic, ignore all other ideas.
No more tradition.
Yeah, essentially, and no more dark. Do not be a purist, because when you get all super dramatic, and there's only two sides to any particular, you're now split.
I can see the drama within him, and I almost killed it.
Then that's my point, and Star Wars is cool that way because this whole, there's only the light, there's only the dark, that's dramatic. It's dramatic when you say there's only two types of people in the world. Oh my God, what? I need to, reprogram my brain for all of time. This is such a simple rule. It must be important. It's very dramatic.
Yeah.
To just everything is black and white. Our father, the crazy cult guy. That's all he thought about things. Black and white.
Yeah.
Very dramatic and not good, and it's a dark side thing anyway. Wow, I'm way off on a tangent. In keeping with Luke's new attitude and point of view, this very all Jedi from here on out should be gray Jedi.
Yeah.
All Sith should be
no more
Jedi, no more Sith. Which Kylo Ren hilariously is saying the same exact thing. They essentially are having a conversation in which They're saying the exact same thing, only they're using words that are blocking any kind of enthymeme between the two. So it's like the thing where you should have said something, buddy. You thought you were taking it like man, but no, you were taking it like bitch. And you know, should have said something. So both sides can be up their own butt and be saying the exact same thing, just not realize it. And therefore, what I'm getting at is there's no light side, no dark side purity that should be rolling forward from here on out. That if Sekhet busts out a force ability, it's not grabbing the lightsaber at a distance. What it is my man has been fried by robots, working on robots. In fact, he can get fried working on BB-8 in like the opening battle. We spent the end of the one movie all calm on the island. The beginning, the one movie. It's a movie called The
Last Jedi. The Last Jedi.
I hate this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
8.
7 ended with beautiful, peaceful green. 8 began with beautiful, peaceful green. 8 ends with like a war scene. So 9 begins with a war scene.
And that's where BB-8 gets fixed.
Yeah, BB-8's getting fixed. Sekhet gets clearly fried, and then takes it, and it's not good, and it's he's got anyway, it's not good, and then he just goes back to keep working on them, and he gets fried again a second time, and he takes it, okay, and then now he gets really, really cooked. So then later on, if you want to give Sekhet force powers, it's gonna have to be dark side, electricity, like a baller. And then when he's done, kind of like Groot. Groot takes out all these dudes and then smiles. Sekhet, could do this lightning cloud dealy. And when he's done, all of his fur's cooked.
Yeah. You could even static shock it up to make it even more because of his fur. Like the more fur he has, he can actually static it up and build it for that type of moment.
That's kind of hilarious. Like he's rubbing himself.
Yeah.
And it's like he's like rubbing his belly, and he's.
Maybe even rolls in the ground for a sec, just for...
No, I got it. I've got it. Well, I had it a minute ago anyway. But you get this funny scene where you wanted to do something where Sekhet was in handcuffs and he kind of does the jump where he puts the handcuffs underneath his feet. And I don't know how you do that on an Ewok, but
it's very they're so small.
Let's assume you can do it.
Yeah.
He's got some jump rope length on his handcuffs or something like that. They're not the standard old school handcuffs, which are like a block and they're tight together. They're like new ones and they're kind of slavish. And they're meant for somebody to drag you like a punk.
Right. Assuming that
he does his little flippy thing.
And gets them in front of him.
He gets them, and that would actually make kind of sense because maybe in Ewoks they don't really get their hands that close together in front of them anyway. It's not good for their bone structure or something.
Right.
So you got to give them these handcuffs, but then there's issues. And then you see him walk up to Kylo Ren, and Kylo Ren's looking down at him, probably. I don't know if this is before or after Kylo Ren makes a big speech about death to the Ewoks.
Should be after, I think.
The moment I'm pitching should be after. So I agree. There's definite reasons for that.
Yeah, because it gives more revelation for the character to stand up to Kylo Ren.
That's exactly what I'm going for.
Yeah.
So my man is rubbing his belly, and it looks kind of a little bit and he's just it's like this weird stare you in the face while I rub my stomach, and it's very uncomfortable looking.
Yes. And it's like what the Kylo Ren doesn't know what to expect.
Yeah, and maybe Sekhet's doing this around a corner from Kylo Ren, and Kylo Ren's standing there and he's listening to this slightly, maybe he's
he can even feel kind of the force in it, but
that's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
He's feeling the force of this, and
but he doesn't understand it because it's out of a being that he doesn't. Nobody would have.
And he's little and he's kind of neutral, and he's kind of a happy dude. But he's about to bust out this lightning, right? So it's kind of this weird neutral territory, but it is a surging in the force. So he kind of what's that? And he kind of goes around the corner, and there's Second, big eyes. Oh my god, he came to me. And like maybe even like reaches out and like grabs his leg, you know, and Kylo Ren's looking down at him like, and you just hear the lightsaber, and that's when Second lets fly the like the worst lightning storm ever.
And that's how Kylo like loses a leg.
No, I just think Kylo's
Or
definitely
like at least makes him Vader like he always wanted to be. You know what I mean?
Now Kylo Ren gets the worst lightning storm of his life, and that's when his voice becomes raspy. From there on out. That's really all I have to say.
And you might not see it, but like he definitely has. You won't see it, or maybe you don't.
You know, he gets some Vader raspiness.
He gets some Vader raspiness. So you might not even see it though. But you don't know that he has a mechanical leg from there on out. But he should definitely have a limp from there on out.
Oh, he's already. Yo, my man's already
might have a mechanical leg.
My man's already got a limp.
Okay.
He does. He took that like kidney shot or whatever it was. The stitching in the side
that's right.
of I avoid medical training. I have enough of it and it creeps me out.
But you know what? So, but I was just going for more like trying to signify that he might have a mechanical leg.
The weird side limp, and he's working on it, but he's gonna have to take another hit. He's gonna have to take another hit, and maybe the hit he takes, you know, should be this, you know, kind of, the bottom half of Vader's mask. Like you take off Vader's mask, and it's just got the 2 points and like the voice box area at the bottom, you know, and it's still connected to his collar. What's the one from KOTOR, the dude from KOTOR who's like missing the bottom half of his. He has jaw problems, is what I'm getting at. That gentleman, Sith guy, was like the proto Vader.
Right.
You know, and all I'm saying is that Kylo can now maybe rock out something equivalent to a forced Vader's shoulders.
Yeah.
And that neck piece somehow getting fried, like cooked his lungs, or cooked his voice box. And it's not that bad of a deal, you know, but it holds his head up in like a bit of a royal pose, and it holds his neck, and you know, I would still definitely make sure he can turn side to side, but you know, Vader could. And that's all I have to say on that.
Back real quick, if there's this team up with BB-8.
Yeah, I love the idea of that they're a great functional unit, and I like the idea of BB-8 going in, or Second going into BB-8, fixing interior stuff real quick. I like BB-8 handing him tools, and I think BB-8 being on the spot, like almost the droid himself is psychic as far as what Second needs next.
Yeah,
is enough to establish the relationship in the other way. I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
I was thinking one of the ways because they don't really notice until they see, you know, Ewoks.
Okay.
So one of the ways he gets his belly thing going, like, you know, he's poking around the corner for a sec and doesn't know what to do. And a good team up for him and BB-8 is BB-8 just shocks him with this little shocker thing.
Okay.
And he notices the electricity.
I was pretty happy with him getting a hardcore fry.
Okay.
But I wouldn't mind it if
BB-8 like antagonized. I was kind of thinking,
or
at least
but you know what would be kind of hilarious if the Ewok, like kind of big-eyed and kind of slowly reaches back out with his hand and does it back to him. You know?
Okay.
And he can do the little R2 noise. When R2 gets fried, he makes this like scream noise. And BB-8 can do like a version of it, you know, basically the same track, just kind of cut and remind you of it. And I was mentioning that earlier, you know, I mentioned Jar Jar with the Hutts because I wanted to bring back in the Hutts for a second, remind you that they're gangsters out there that are the Hutts, and the fact that the First Order
works with them.
Not only works with them, but Jar Jar's going to go out and strong arm all the Hutts. All at once, sweep them all in, fold them all into Jar Jar's aegis. You know, which, you know,
economics.
It's a direct line straight up to Kylo Ren from there. And maybe not that Jar Jar is going to be the next Sith apprentice or anything, but there he is.
Right.
You know,
And it shows that he might outlast even this new order. Just like he outlasted the Empire.
yeah, nice. You could even have him like minorly manipulate Kylo Ren. You know, and that's not too hard to put together.
No, it's not.
In fact, you mentioned it kind of.
I did. I mentioned you remind me so
Bam!
much of
Yeah,
Ant.
there we go. See, we came full circle to that was and that's why that's a good line.
It is a good line, because it once again it shows the manipulation, and it shows what Jar Jar's evilness is. Jar Jar's evilness isn't, I love. As a matter of fact, he would liberate slaves just because of Anakin type.
Yeah, Jar Jar is and that's fun. This very in your face, and you take it when I say things that are clearly manipulative. Oh my God, how do you get away with this, Jar Jar?
Right.
Also, we were talking earlier about how not only is the slaves need to get, straight up all the slaves. Like, this movie needs to be freaking serious.
Oh, and Jar Jar's younger. You don't know why.
That's hilarious. That's right. That's a bit of a plot element that we brought back up when there was we were having fun playing around with Plagueis.
Yeah.
And a possible relationship between Plagueis and Jar Jar prior to the beginning of Star Wars Episode 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the fact that Jar Jar's, for some reason, when Kylo Ren thing happens, Jar Jar's younger. And
yeah, that's hilarious because he sucks people dry of life. Oh yeah, by the way, that's part of our Star Wars notes too. Is that the reason why Amidala just gave up? It's as if she gave up on life. We don't really understand why. Is because my man was sitting in the corner sucking her dry of life. Okay, purposefully. Just goodbye, Amidala. Don't need you anymore. I'm just gonna take those health points, and if you play KOTOR, that's not a problem. That's what you do in KOTOR. The light side heals. The dark side takes the health from somewhere else. A producer and a consumer.
And he saw at that exact moment being in the shuttlecraft, which is what Jar Jar does. Jar Jar can see 3, 4, 5 roads at one instant at the major
I was
climax.
just pretty happy with Jar Jar sucking things dry. We had a funny little thing where it was like, he had a little accidente or whatever, and then we were like, what he probably did is, like, with the Force, he probably sucked dry like a whole, fish tank, some valuable fish tank that was the community's. Oops, sorry, I accidentally goofed on that and they all died, and the whole society's like, what the hell, man? How did you do that? What did you, and what he did was he essentially sucked the life, out of some major creature pool or something. I'm getting distracted.
But we also
I just thought that was a funny little.
In the same line, we also discussed at the time of Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan arriving.
Right.
Based on.
I remember that. That was a long conversation, and it was the same conversation with the tank and whatnot.
And so I'm going on the same deal.
Yeah.
So for now.
Yeah.
So the deal is that the baby's being born.
They're born, and
he realizes at that moment, just like he did with Qui-Gon and Anakin, it should be like really kind of a head rush of a moment.
Yeah. Oh yeah. When Qui-Gon. Thank you, sir. When, once again, having nothing to do with the upcoming movie, but it's a good point. It's a great point that when Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan arrive on that planet, my man's there, right there. Jar Jar's right there,
waiting,
and that's what you're talking about. You were dancing around it, and with the prescience thing. That's exactly what's up. Is that Jar Jar is clearly demonstrated as having prescience, as being prescient.
Yeah.
As soon as those two land, there he is, manipulating them. He's got this whole bag that he's starts up from the beginning, and he's so good at whatever the hell manipulation that long term that's going to happen between him and these two. He's already doing Force flips in front of them. He's already 10 steps ahead, and he's playing jazz, man.
Yeah. So as soon as Anakin.
Playing jazz on some Jedi.
As soon as Anakin goes down, it's like a force ripple in my head that hits him.
Okay.
as
Yes, sir.
the road, and it's,
Sure.
the roads that are gonna happen right this moment.
Yeah.
Because of this instability of the force.
It's not even for it's almost like he's so good at manipulation that he doesn't even care about the manipulation at the moment. He's dancing, through that. He's sashaying through what should be a meat and potatoes, tread lightly sort of situation. Hold the fish loosely. Man, he does hold the fish loosely. It does not flop out of his hands, so to speak. And like I said, so what he's doing is he's picking paths. He's seeing ahead. He's doing what he's doing, and the whole time he's got his third eye 10 miles ahead on 5, 10 different, 20 different paths.
Correct.
And he sees the momentum of the current events. He knows that there's momentum to the situation, and that the Jedi have a momentum, and they're just not going to pay attention to him. They're just not going to, he sends them down the path of they see the fool, and that's all they see.
And he even shows them, he sits there by their side, tries to be, hey, this is good, this is bad. He knows bad, he even tells you bad versus good. It's up to you to listen. And that's
an awesome... Go, yes, sir.
That shows that he's not, even if he is manipulative, it's your choices. It's always your choices.
That's fun. So once again, he's just, there's a momentum going on. He sees that we're in a car. It's NASCAR time, and that thing's going to be making a left turn, and that's what's up.
Yes.
And he can yell in the passenger's ear and make funny faces and blow, and all he wants to, but we're still making a left.
Right.
So he's looking at the road ahead.
And it should be, at key moments, it's more of like a pressure that comes,
Sure, that's exactly what's up.
What I said, a wave.
Yeah.
So like
Yoda
a big wave of the Force makes a bigger outcome that he has to look at.
Right. And so when Anakin, is having some mental difficulties and takes down a whole village of Tusken douches, I mean, that was a society, and he ended a society. Okay. I don't know why Queen Amidala didn't say, hey, Yoda, you mind if we check Anakin into the local padded room-ish kind of vibe coming out of him?
Right.
I love the idea that Amidala and Obi-Wan have a secret affair going on. And Anakin is so intense that just there's no way to tell my man and keep the train of society running without total dark side collapse. Rate that in there. And, and so Jar Jar was the money man. And I was building to a Hutt's mention.
Yes.
Jar Jar. And for some reason I feel like that the scene, this darker scene takes place in something equivalent of like a spaceship castle.
Okay.
From Conan the Barbarian. I think it's the second one, I guess, the Destroyer. And there's the magical castle that disappears and reappears. And in Castlevania, Dracula's got one. It's awesome, And so there should be this, like Dune, as if Star Wars hasn't ripped off enough from Dune as it is. You take Shaddam's floating
empire
palace. It's now Jar Jar's, and in it there's a conversation with Kylo Ren, and somehow you maybe get the feel that Kylo Ren has the centerpiece in Jar Jar's flying castle dealy, which I mean you need that anyway because you got to go somewhere from the triangle ship that. I can't remember what the heck the thing was called, the Revenge or something, that went down in the last movie.
Yeah.
You got to go somewhere upwards from that, and you can't just keep making bigger and bigger ships. And so turn it into a castle.
And what's nice about this, real quick, is the Empire. You see everything degrade in 4 and in 4, 5, and 6, and it's nice. It shows that It's not nice, the First Order, but the First Order, you get to see things instead of decaying and crumbling, building. You know, you actually get to see nice surfaces. Things are things are getting built. Evil and mean as it is,
Things are getting paid for.
things are getting paid for. Your BB-8 doesn't look like a 50-year-old piece of junk.
That's true.
You know what I
That's
mean?
true.
So,
I'm sorry. Am I
no,
interrupting?
you're fine.
I
But
apologize.
back to what.
Yeah. The line was that Jar Jar turns. I'm gonna squeeze the Hutts. Is what I'm getting at. Jar Jar's gonna squeeze the Hutts. You need to get the Hutts back in there, and you need to hit. In a way, you need to hit both all the thematic elements throughout this whole saga thus far. I mean, we're up to the last movie,
The last movie.
in the third trilogy, and
They lacked on the set. The first was great, honestly. No problems, J.J. Abrams. The first was great. There were tweaks.
and that's what I'm saying. J.J. Abrams brought back the old feel. I mean, granted, he mimeographed, quite a bit, carbon copied the original. However, now that we're at the ninth, you need to bring back those elements from the original things, and so you need a bounty hunter.
Yeah.
And you need the some sort of Django dealie. Also, you need, like I said, the Ewoks.
The Ewoks, and the second being a mechanic.
Mechanic? Yeah.
Second.
Right. Oh, well,
Yeah.
that was I thought, all right, well, we'll come back to that in 1 second.
Yeah.
So, yeah, actually, I did have, I think it was like 3 or 4, and you had 1 point.
Yeah.
But, to finish up I was saying that Luke threw his lightsaber off into the distance, starts orbiting. Not really orbiting, but it's just like,
Yeah.
right. So then of course it logically follows that in a cartoon, the way they were doing it was a bit cartoonish in the beginning there, and a little bit of light humor. So of course, once you do that, everybody knows that a couple minutes later, just at the perfect moment, that lightsaber is gonna come in, and like Luke or maybe even Rey's gotta catch it out of the air, all like cool style.
It should be Rey.
And it should have been Rhea, and it should have been her feeling it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like Luke should have been looking down the road in a prescient way, knowing that he's gonna be a pain in the ass about this. Yes, he's gonna say 50 times, "Go away," and he's gonna go to sleep, and he's gonna think about it, and this lightsaber's gonna be and he can feel his own momentum and know that he's gonna be like, all right, fine, and then the lightsaber lands in his hand because like 3 days ago he had thrown it and its speed and whatever.
I think
it's just timed right. So
I think Rhea should grab it.
Oh yeah,
And
cool.
it should show that it should show that
And it's a test. It's a test. Can you feel it? Can you feel it?
it is a test.
Is it gonna hit you in the back of the head?
Because Yoda would have. If you can't do it, then Yoda. If you can't sense a spinning lightsaber, sorry. If you can't sense a spinning lightsaber,
Language.
you're right. If you can't sense a spinning quarter in a jar, if you can't sense a
spinning lightsaber, then you're not gonna win the fight with Goku and Frieza. Okay, that's why Frieza lost. I'm just saying. This is Star Wars, but just
Yeah.
if you can't feel it, then it's a minor test for her. And some realities, she doesn't catch it, but Luke's looking down the road anyway, and maybe this is about as far as he felt like looking down the road when it came to her landing and him being surprised a bit, and this one, this flipping, and he's staring at her like, really? I thought I was
done with you.
Yeah, I was gonna stay in my box, and there was like a coin flip whether or not you were ever gonna land. And I wasn't paying attention to that one because I
didn't want you to.
I didn't want to pay attention, But now that you're here, I'm gonna throw this lightsaber. 3 days from now, I think maybe you'll get hit in the head and go away. Haha. And now I'm gonna stop thinking about that one. All right, so that was my finishing thought on that. I had a secondary thought, which is that how nice would it be for Disney to make a movie that in the end hardcore comes down on against
slavery.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Slavery is an issue.
Might even be Jar Jar's pitch to save his own ass at the end.
That's hilarious. That's
you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I'm down. I mean, excellent. All right, so and continuing on that slavery thing, from here on out, I would hope at the end that the universe is just going to be a better place, or the galaxy, or whatever, because just people are enabled, and that's the future. A more enabled environment for everybody, and everything seen up till this point in Star Wars has been based on people telling other people what's up.
Yeah.
The Emperor telling you, you're going to turn against your father. You're going to be my thrall. Where's
the freedom?
Yeah, where's the freedom?
Where's the will?
And I don't mean freedom in the last 2 seconds of the movie and now we're free, celebration fireworks, and in the future there'll be freedom. You know what? That doesn't...
No, it's already been established that the Rebels campaign.
Okay.
The Rebels campaign, considering they have so many slaves, so many,
The Rebels don't have slaves.
Well, but the freed slaves.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay, so at this point there's so many freed there's so many rebels that are no longer slaves, is what you're saying. Gotcha.
That's part of the pitch of joining the alliance, the Rebel Alliance.
It's just the words end slavery.
Yes.
Or
abolish or whatever. Yeah.
I'm not against the words end slavery. I'm just trying to think of a better.
That's why I said abolish.
A better sound bite or something. Like the kind of things political people like.
Abolish
slavery.
That was the original.
Slavery. Rock out, man.
That was the original deal.
And aside from that, not aside from that, on top of that, there's an undertext that this whole time, whether or not Anakin was slave, whether or not there's other slaves out in the galaxy, this whole time we've watched a very nasty robot slavery underneath all of that. And it was just mentioned in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It was just brought up in 8. So we're going to polish that off at the end. And we are going to need we're going to need Coruscant. How do I put this without going off on a weird tangent? It would make me very happy if all the robots
gave them a cluster,
a planet. You have now Coruscant's yours. We're gonna ask you for some stuff. There's gonna be.
And we need logistical data.
And we need data on how to process the entire government of the galaxy, and we're just gonna farm it out to you guys. You tell us what we need to do to let you keep having a whole planet and freedom and happiness all around.
And
and they get planet 01 now, which is Coruscant, and they all
you still get paid.
Yeah, droids get paychecks too.
Droids get paychecks too.
And they get a planet. Everybody gets whatever makes them planet wise. That's fine. Nobody's telling you that you have to live here. You have to live on the Wookiee planet. You have to, and if things get, your planet says that, probably not, man.
And if you lost the planet,
because that's messed up too. You're telling us, you're not allowed to leave your planet. There's a whole civilization out there because your planet's taken over by people that say we all must do this one thing. Do that.
And if you lost the planet due to the super death ray.
Yeah, right?
Of course, we're going to find you at least at minimum a moon.
Right. And maybe some droids that might be, down with having a friend. Going out into the universe. Homesteading.
Right.
Where's the homesteading droid?
And that's why, yeah, there we go.
And I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind if C-3PO and R2 got retired somehow as the mother and father minds of, the new droid planet. And I don't know if any of this is worth.
And no kidnapping children.
And That's the other thing. No kidnapping. It's worth keeping whatever a minute and a half of what we just said just to get to the point. The Jedi kidnapped children. They kidnapped children. They took them away from their homes. You know, you go to boarding school, you get to come home. The kids that don't get to come home from boarding school are messed up kids. They don't, you know, it's not functional social environment to be Anakin, leave your mother. All right. I think
we all get that.
Yeah, I don't think there's any disagreement about that. You know, so there's no reason why any new sort of Jedi anything should be based on anybody kidnapping children. It should be, I guess, the equivalent of open college.
Yeah.
Open tryouts at football, essentially. Even that you can bring in, you know, whatever sort of school the Jedi. So we've seen the First Order, how Kylo Ren. We've seen the momentum there, and the Jedi have slightly more momentum in the galaxy than just Rey, or Rhea, or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, she's got the greatest smile.
And doesn't use it.
And well, you only in the 8. You never get 4, 6.
No, it's 8.
Okay, in 8, she only got to use that smile a little bit. That actress has got the most wonderful smile. It warms the heart. I've never seen anybody that has such a smile, and it's great. She just kind of defaults to it, and that's what's great too. Is her default is this happy goof smile. So yeah, more of that. Don't need to get really bogged down in the whole, like, you know, robot planet thing. That was
yeah, that was a little off. I'm sorry.
But no. I just mean the movie itself. Whatever we would do, it doesn't need to get distracted with this Coruscant, Tantor, robots thing. But it does need the emancipation of all people.
Right.
And it needs this open to learning the Force, no slaves, you know, kind of like free college sort of a deal.
Yeah.
Across the galaxy, more or less.
All everyone knows is that they're going against the Empire. They don't know what the Republic has to offer. Or
right, yeah. You got to
offer.
base a government on something, you know?
Right. There's nothing to offer the campaign.
Free college, or free Jedi, you know, just free education. Which, by the way, everybody's, you know, there's a lot of slaves at this point. You know? There's whole planets where and robots kind of running the show squeezing in with C-3PO and R2-D2 really running the show from now on isn't the worst idea, because organic people running the government is a disaster.
And we've noticed it's a disaster.
So and I'm not saying
thousands of years.
Yeah, it's been a disaster in Star Wars since the beginning. So you want to bring balance to the Force, you know, from
have
the
a
days.
Balanced government.
Yeah, let's get a government that's not gonna just fail for one reason or another. You know.
Off of its beginning.
Yeah, no more problems with trade negotiations. The robots just tell you, C-3PO, you know, just tells you in a C-3PO voice what shipment's going where next. That's the end of that.
It's nice to have a rebellion, but I don't know why I'm into rebellion.
The flipping voice.
If I don't
of the
know
computer.
why I'm into rebellion other than the Empire, I get that.
Yeah, like that.
Of course I'm going to fight the Empire. Yes. But what am I fighting for when the Empire's gone?
You're fighting for slaves that are running the government, and they're mad and they want everything now because they had nothing before, and everything's bad, and there's not a lot of educated decision making process going on here. And well, what's the other team? I don't know. North Korea in space, you know, trying to take
or
all
an
the
organized
resources.
empire.
That's what I'm saying. And so, or you know, it's gonna be back and forth. Oh yeah, you must do this thing. Everybody must do this. Yeah, what I was saying is that there's gonna be some just like we've seen what Kylo Ren's got going on in that whole side. You know, there's gonna be some like Jedi school dude in the works seeking out Rey. I've got this whole school. It's all set up. I've got everything set up. And everybody's going to wear these brown pants. And everybody's got to wear this brown robe. And I've got this fine selection of only three lightsaber colors for you.
Right.
And she's just going to be like, my master Luke hated this. This is exactly what we're
fighting against.
This is exactly what we're fighting against.
And by the way, I've already kidnapped children.
Yeah, oh my Lord in heaven. You're right. And it's I think it's like dark priest that has all the trappings of the light.
Yes, with a new beginning for the Jedi.
Right, and it's not that he thinks he's dark.
No, he doesn't.
It's just that Luke would think. Luke sees this as dark, and thus we as the audience know it's dark, and we as the audience see the cult-ish mentality that's going to march. That we see
that
cults.
The Jedi came from.
I'm just saying we can see cults.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is a cult. It's a cult. The First Order is a cult. The Jedi are a cult. Oh my God, there's cults everywhere. And we have slavery as a result of all this cultish mentality. The problem is that everybody telling everybody what they got to do.
They just have to be free.
And if we have freedom, then the new order is freedom. And now it's and you can just say that, and it wraps it puts a bow on the whole First Order thing.
Yeah.
The new order is freedom. And I hope by saying that nobody gets creeped out about the whole First World Order stuff.
Deal.
But at the same time, go ahead, let them. Disney made this. let them discuss as a talking point. It's a lot better as a talking point than getting mad at the people who make the film not paying attention to the fans. So as I said, use the fan models. Pick and choose. Put on different skins. Just use it.
Yeah.
It's out there. And
the fans
don't destroy canon.
Right.
Pick up every piece of canon you can, and try to stitch it all
together.
Stitch it all in there.
We always the new movies always talk about there's this chosen one. Well, that means that there's obviously, if there's a chosen one, and it's not Luke, etc., but it was Luke, that means there's a new prophecy, right? Somewhere there's a new prophecy.
I think we're still stuck on the balance thing.
Okay.
Vader will bring balance to the Force.
Okay, so there's not a new prophecy.
No, I think we're still stuck in Vader will bring balance to the Force, and it's like, I don't know about that. And maybe it's the films Star Wars are Vader bringing balance to the Force. So what we get, which starts with Vader, what we the audience see, is Vader bringing balance to the Force.
Yeah.
And so all these events are the times when Anakin is spoken of and his existence had relevance, and for the next couple generations his existence had relevance.
Okay.
And that's what I feel is happening. Anyway,
thank you all for listening. I think
this has been Crazy Town Productions. These are our notes on Star Wars. Hopefully we edited them together in some sort of, it'll be scatterbrained.
Good fashion.
Yeah, everything's scatterbrained. This was meant to be a little bit short, but this is what we had.
Yeah.
That was fun, Pat.
Yeah. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And I hope you all enjoyed it at home.
All right. Later. This has been a Crazy Town production. Thanks for hanging out with us. I'm John.
I'm Patrick.
And please feel free to give us a thumbs up, subscribe.
Support us on Patreon if you feel like it. It would help us get better video and audio quality for you guys on our podcast. Thank you. And enjoyed hanging out with you. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.